Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Visit squarespace.com/BrendanVanson for more details. Okay, we are back in Svalbard. Actually, we haven't left, but we're back with another video, and we are about to crush ice. In fact, we're already starting. We're at 79 degrees latitude, or even higher at the very north of the islands, and it's about 8 p.m., and we are about to enter the pack ice. This is awesome. Yeah, landscapes like this are rare. And even if you don't get sunset up here, you can get some pretty cool photos. These were all taken from the ship in motion. As our ship bravely pushed through the pack ice as we navigated north, the entire vessel had one thing on its mind: polar bears. Where are the polar bears? So it's 10 p.m. and the ship we're on has an open bridge policy. So we've all been kind of just hanging out up in the bridge, spotting or trying to spot polar bears. And just now, we haven't seen a polar bear, but just now we saw a piece of ice, of pack ice, that had polar bear tracks running across it. So they're here. We've seen tracks, just no bear. We can go back into the bridge and keep spotting. Tom, you seeing any polar bears?
I'm trying. I am trying, but no, only tracks. Why are you so close to me?
Because it's really wide. It's so wide.
I'm looking now. I'm looking.
As Tom and I peered through the white, it was starting to feel like maybe it wouldn't happen. Epic landscapes all around, but no bears. And of course, maybe if I knew how to properly use binoculars, this would be easier. I only have one eye that works, so I gotta hold them like this. Could honestly stay up there all night, but I feel like everybody else is up. It's already midnight and nobody will be up at like 3, 4 in the morning searching for bears. So it is midnight. I'm going into my cabin and I'm gonna sleep for 3 or 4 hours, and then I'm gonna get up again in 3 or 4 hours and go up back to the bridge looking for polar bears. Just got a call on the intercom saying that there's 2 polar bears way off in the distance. So officially, I have seen a polar bear. And officially, I have a photograph of a polar bear. There is a polar bear way off in the distance. Way off in the distance. It just looks like a speck. It's probably 5 pixels of my frame, but officially I've seen one and photographed one. Now, definitely would like to get a little bit closer. It's now 12:30, so literally as soon as I went to bed, this happened. I think now the ship is kind of just like hovering in the area, and hopefully, and we're kind of hoping that maybe the bear comes closer. Tom said that there was 2 or 3, but I only saw 1. So maybe Tom's seeing things, or maybe he's really good at seeing things. Either way, polar bear, check that off the list, which is awesome. And also, look how epic the view is back that way. Polar bear or not, that's pretty stunning. So apparently this is as close as we can get, but the ship is staying here overnight. By the way, this is midnight sun. I don't know if you can tell, but the sun is like not even close to the horizon. But yeah, we're staying here for the night, and I am going to bed and hoping that when I wake up, the polar bears are closer. First of all, I'm sorry for the giant spots on my face in this episode. I'm not sure when I got water on my sensor, but I definitely don't notice for at least 3 more minutes. Secondly, those are polar bear tracks. Freaking polar bear tracks. So basically all night, on the hour, I was waking up to go and check for bear activity, and there was lots. There was, I think I counted 4 bears in total through the night, but they were always so far away that they were basically just a speck on the end of my lens. So we haven't been close, but there's definitely bears around. And so we're trying to get closer to them, but the pack ice is pretty packed in, so we can't get Zodiacs in and around. Instead, we're cruising the icebreaker to get as close to these bears as possible without disturbing them. Amazingly, straight ahead of us, there's three bears on one piece of ice. And actually, last night there was one with a seal kill. So here's hoping we can get close enough for a good photo or two, and we're gonna keep trying. Eventually, the bears were close enough for a couple really cool environmental portraits. They're not the epic face-to-face with a polar bear images you might want, but I think they're pretty special. So we're all up on the bow because there's 2 bears off that way. There's another one that way, but it was too far away. And these 2 bears actually walked towards us. And they're still a long ways away, but I think actually it makes for an awesome like environmental wildlife photography, something I talked about on this channel quite a bit. And I think the images are really cool. In fact, yeah, I would like a really close photo of a bear. But these are the images I love, these big open landscapes that show the vastness of the territory of these animals. So this is really cool. They're, like I said, a long ways away and seemingly walking away from us now. But we're gonna keep hanging around and see what they do. Maybe they'll come towards us. Maybe they'll eat one of my participants. Soon, our wishes came true. A young female bear decided it was time to see if we were gonna share any of the bacon our chef whipped up for breakfast. As she grew closer and closer, I couldn't control my heart rate or my camera's frame rate. First, a minimalist image where she's but a segment set within the white. Then, she sports an aggressive face as she prowls towards us. And finally, my favorite image of her. I just love the lines, and I love the way she fits so perfectly into the frame. Eventually, she decided to walk away from us and go for a swim. And as much as I loved spending those intimate moments with her, it's these photos where she's set within her environment that I love so much. It's these photos that make me the most happy. I was just asking Tom if a polar bear came out and I was napping, if he would come and tell me, and he said no. I was considering going for a nap, and then literally as I asked that, the polar bear started walking towards us, and it walked all the way close to us, and Tom's photobombing me now, and it walked all the way to us and then turned and went in the water, and it's still just off there chasing birds around and swimming and fishing. And it's absolutely awesome. This is better than what I expected, to be honest. We're just sitting here, kind of like we're the ones in the zoo, caged by the boat, just letting nature evolve around us. And yeah, it looks like maybe the polar bear's swimming back towards us, hoping he gets closer, but if not, like, there's already some bangers on that camera. So I'm really excited about how this is going. With a happy memory card, I decided to stop worrying about stills and just enjoy having a playful bear on display right next to us. It was so special. Tom, you got a banger?
Ex-panga.
Ex-panda?
Ex-panga. Ex-banga. Ex-pan-banga.
I don't understand what that means.
It means I shot the polar bear on my Hasselblad X-pan when it was right next to the boat.
Oh!
And then, yes, I did also get some bangers with the Nikon Z8 as well.
Nice. So I think this is day 8 of the expedition, and the one younger male bear is still hanging around the ship. And honestly, this might be one of the best days of my life. This is just amazing. I would have waited 50 days worth of no polar bears to get to this moment. This is just so special. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty grateful right now for this experience. We've just been hanging around these polar bears for 12 hours straight, and kind of just feeling grateful to be a part of their environment for a bit. And I'm just gonna go back to shooting photos. I've probably filled like 2 memory cards already. So I'm up in the bridge, trying to be quiet, and we're kind of maneuvering around. We can't get crazy close because the water here is actually really shallow. Ryan, the expedition leader, just said it's actually less than 10 meters deep here. So we're spinning around, seeing if we can get another angle, while being safe as well. So I'm in my room at my messy desk, and on the first 7 days of the voyage I took a total of 800 images. And that's a lot for me, but there was some wildlife in there. This morning, in 6 hours, I took, I guess that works out to be almost 1,400 images of polar bears. So it was pretty special this morning, and now we're gonna jump on Zodiacs and see if we can get a different perspective. We might not get closer, but a different perspective. And one of the other people on this expedition has the Canon 800mm f11 and is actually going to lend it to me. So I'm going to play with this lens to see, you know, if I can do anything cool with it, and I'm really excited. I think this is a really interesting lens. I mean, an f11 800mm lens that's not crazy expensive. Can I get sharp images out of it? I'm really excited to find out. Okay, this was definitely the wrong excursion for the 800mm lens, but I definitely did get a good feel for it. I love how it compresses the scene of the bears as they leave us, for example. And there are details and ways of capturing scenes at 800mm that are just so unique. So even if the best photo I took with this lens this afternoon was either of a tern in an empty sky or of this seagull on some ice, I feel like I got a pretty good feel of the 800mm. Okay, so I'm back after the excursion. The 800mm is actually really interesting, and it's really light. I mean, it's really light. I think the body is heavier than the lens. The autofocus was faster than I expected, to be honest, and it was definitely the wrong excursion for the lens. We were in this iceberg graveyard, and it wasn't really the right lens. It was just too much lens. But there was a couple moments with birds, and it did a really good job. I'm actually really impressed. I kind of wish I would have picked up this lens before this trip, just to have a little bit more range for that fun. But I got to give it back to the owner now. But yeah, it was a fun test. It's 1 in the morning, and the staff just got on the speaker to say that there's a bear on the edge of the I guess on the water, and we're gonna go on Zodiacs to try to photograph him or her. So, sleep cut short for bear photos, hopefully. After racing out to the Zodiacs to get close to the bears, we ran into some bad luck. Not only did the bears move back inland and away from us, but a whiteout blew through, totally blocking any visibility. I attempted to use the whiteout in my favor for a subtle polar bear photo, but I'm not sure it works. So we didn't have a whole lot of luck with the polar bears last night. They were out quite a long ways away. At one point there might have been an image in the whiteout that could have been cool, potentially. I'll have to see in the edit. But overall, I'm gonna get out of the snow. Overall, that was amazing, amazing, amazing with the polar bears. Whew, amazing with the polar bears. And yeah, just an experience of a lifetime. We are north of Svalbard now, pushing even farther north, up in towards the pack ice, and hoping to get to 80 degrees latitude. So I'll see you when we do that. Peace. Let me tell you quickly about today's sponsor. Squarespace is an amazing place for photographers and bloggers to build a really professional looking website really quickly and easily. It has a lot of templates that make it simple to get started. You have great resources too, like members only areas, easy to build stores for selling arts and even services. Of course, there's also lots of other great tools for creators such as a logo maker and in-depth analytics. So if you're looking for a photography website or portfolio, head to squarespace.com/BrendanVanson for a 10% discount on your first purchase. Link in the description.